Dad sighing on into the show.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Hi.
I was just getting ready to get Steve's tree service
tree
ready
service.
to go for this episode of the Krisha and Frank Show. Thank
I'm
you so
Krisha.
much. I'm Frank.
Yeah.
It's Wednesday. And we're celebrating the new year of 2021 by the beautiful set decorations that
And
Miss
by
Jerry.
Snowy being here, and I'm getting ready to get my hair did.
Good. Oh,
Yeah.
maybe by tomorrow we'll see new hair.
Maybe.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm still worn out from Artie Rocket yesterday. I mean, he's staying for a couple of days, but
Yeah.
he said he could be on one show, and we had the whole bit worked out.
He did fantastic.
Oh, he absolutely did. I told him, I said, if you can pretend to be me for 5 minutes, which is Krisha's idea.
You did a really great job.
And the rest of my family's like, why did you tell him that?
He did
No,
great.
I'm planning it in his head. I know how he thinks.
Mm-hmm.
I think I know how he thinks, and I think it'll be better if I tell him. 5 minutes, it's like long enough to be serious, but not long enough that it's daunting.
Right.
So the exact time doesn't matter. So, but if you can get in there and
Yeah.
pretend to be me for 5 minutes, that would be great.
It was so good.
So we appreciate Megan for letting him sit in.
It was good to get to see them.
And you did a great job with them. You're good with kids anyway.
Yeah. So,
We got to give the plugs. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Audibletrial.com/Krisha and Frank will give you the opportunity to try Audible for 30 days, risk-free, and at the end of that time, you decide whether you want to renew or cancel. It'll renew automatically if you don't cancel, but it's a trial period. And while you're in that 30-day trial, you can download anything in their premium collection for free and keep it forever.
Forever and ever.
Yes, that's a good deal.
Yeah, and please subscribe to our YouTube. It helps us so much. And right now, I'm not on social. I'm here. So I can't remind you to subscribe. So please subscribe.
That's a good point. All of you people who normally stalk Krisha on Instagram and Twitter, this is it. You got to find her on YouTube and get all that fresh Krisha content that we come to know and love.
Yeah. So you're gonna miss tweets like, I often wonder when I drive past a rainy graveyard and see someone walking alone if they're a ghost that's bored.
See, that's good. That's deep stuff.
That's
like
some
that.
deep stuff.
I like that. My favorite thing you did, I don't want to out anybody, is there was one fellow we know who's got a little bit of the narcissistic personality disorder, and you nailed it so hard with the perfectly profane responce
before I took my social sabbatical.
Yes, I'm thinking of 2 weeks ago, when you just, sometimes people do this, they vague book and they're basically fishing for compliments on Facebook, and it's just like, it's so...
But I'm not missing that.
They don't see that they're doing it because they're caught in this world, this blinders on, and when you poked a hole in that hot air balloon... just said, stop it.
And that's part of the reason that I'm not on social media right now, is because I cannot be contained.
So good. I'm happy about that. That's hilarious. All right. So anyway, that's you're on your hiatus. You're socially
I am
distant.
reading books, and I'm doing yoga and meditating, and I'm just being quiet.
Well,
it's
after
nice.
the ending of 2020 that you had, I mean, you doing shows every night at Sweet Fanny on full throttle, just taking it all the way to
6th Street.
And burning yourselves out.
Yeah.
I mean, as much as I'm sad that Sweet Fanny Adams is closed forever, you guys certainly figured out a way to not miss it by burning yourselves out at the very end. Now, it's going to hit you.
Oh, yeah.
Very soon, it's going to come roaring back, and you're going to go, I need to be on stage doing my hippopotamus number or whatever it is.
Correct. But I am enjoying the time to just, yeah. And in that time, I came across, we've talked on the show about relationships and relationship things, and I read a theory that a woman has when you're starting to date or a relationship in your older years. But I asked this of a couple friends, and I wanted to get your honest opinion. Her theory...
Who's the oldest person I know?
Her theory is, no matter how old you are or what relationship you're starting, that you should institute a 3-month no kissing or anything rule before you even begin the relationship.
That is like old-time courtship.
Yeah?
Yeah, I mean, if you think about in the old-timey courtships, 1900s, early 1900s, or whatever. You see this in the movies sometimes, or in the old British movies. You know, he wants to be able to know if is he allowed to escort her home, or escort her to take her to pick her up and walk her to whatever.
Right.
That's a thing, and there's distance there, and you don't get to the hand holding until weeks.
Right.
Yeah, that sounds like it worked for a long time, and then things of course changed with the sexual revolution in the 1960s and 70s. That was considered old hat and went out the window.
Well, and her theory is that you don't really know someone until about 3 months in, and two, that if you hand holding and hugging is fine, but the moment that you start raising your serotonin levels and changing, because it's an endorphin and it's a release, that it can mask your actual feelings for someone, and that because
you crave the touch physicality of it.
Correct. Instead of engaging with that person, and that it can actually mask things, and you will make choices that you may not make otherwise. And I asked 2 of my single guy friends this, and they immediately were like, "No, I wouldn't date a woman if she said no kissing for 3 months." And then they thought about it.
How long have they been single?
For a long time.
Yeah. So all right. So then they thought about it.
And then they thought about it, and they're like, "Well, if it were like online dating and we were texting and talking for 3 months, then yeah, but not if we were in-person dating." And I'm like, "Well, what's the difference?"
Right.
What's the difference?
You're better off getting to know someone.
Yeah, because but they said that they both would not date a woman if she said,
well,
I would like to date you, but I would like to reserve intimacy for 3 months into our relationship.
Well, then what it shows is that those are the wrong guys.
Right.
It says more about the guy than it does about the girl. The girl should be certainly in control of that.
And I'm not saying that I'm taking this up, but it was just a really interesting thing.
And I'm not going to out you either.
Right.
I know you well enough, but you can start. You always can start from this point forward.
I'm on a dating sabbatical as it is.
Okay.
So.
But you see, with the issue that you get though, when you have that whole idea of being able to immediately hook up.
Right.
On my first date, second date, third date, whatever, that hookup culture.
I mean, don't say that about me. I'm not.
No, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about these single guys.
I mean, don't
if these single guys that we're talking about are in that hookup culture world, they're spoiled rotten, because they get to literally hook up with a girl and then dump her, or she dumps
garbage.
them, and they only see it selfishly from their own perspective. What's the incentive to marry a guy like that? There's none.
Yeah.
And what's the incentive to marry a girl in the hookup culture either? Because it's it's just a disposable transaction. It's paper plates instead of china.
Exactly. You China.
Yeah.
Treat yourself like fine china.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So you have a whole generation of guys who don't know how to do that old chivalry, which is based on, I'm not allowed to touch you, kiss you yet, but I will hold the door open for you.
Right.
And that's kind of, you know what I mean?
Right.
Because if you think about it, all of those...
What am I going to do if I can't kiss her?
No, you hold the door open for her. You do other physical actions. You hold her hand getting help her out of the car. You pull out the chair, which if you think about it, all of these are symbolic of other means of getting intimate.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I kind of like it.
I hadn't thought of that until just now.
I like it.
Yeah, so those are all courting, mating rituals that our society did for several hundred years.
Yeah, that we've kind of tossed away.
Yeah, but now, maybe that's why coronavirus came to us, to give us that that distance.
Stay away from me.
You got to test negative 3 months in a row.
3 months in a row, and then we can smooch. Look, that's a great way to put it. You just I don't have to say I have a rule where we don't kiss for 3 months. It's like, you got to be COVID free for 3 months
before you can even get close.
Yeah, you got to Girl Scout it.
Yeah.
3 months.
It is. I mean, seriously, it reminds me of when I was in high school, and you'd read about all of the STDs. There were that was the thing. People. they were on the rise.
Yeah, yeah.
And there were ads on television telling you to be careful and you know, don't engage in high-risk behavior. And now I'm hearing it all again.
Except it's COVID. Oh, man.
It does sound the same.
It does. And it's
the same
terrible.
message, you know.
It's so terrible. Get tested.
Use protection. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, just elbow gloves.
It's the same.
Hello, nice to meet you.
And then you also have people, and this is kind of a little weird, is you have people who are angry at those who engage in high-risk behavior.
Yeah.
Say, well, they should go to the end of the line and should not get any medical help because they engaged in high-risk behavior.
Right.
But when you flip it into the STD world, we're like, no, we need to get those you treated faster so you stop spreading the disease.
Stop it.
In fact, we're going to put you to the head of the line.
You get to go first.
Because since clearly nothing else is working.
You go first. I'm sure your asthma's flaring up.
We're going to go ahead and so it's sometimes the opposite makes more sense than anyway. I don't know.
Yeah.
So now, how do I segue from that to Steve's tree
I was
service?
going to say.
I can't even think of a way.
No. But we should just talk about Steve's tree service because it's the time where, you know, when it snowed and there were power outages because trees fell.
Yeah.
Yeah. Steve's tree service, they can help you out if you have a tree that's a little suspect.
I told the family multiple times, I said, imagine if that leany old pine tree was covered in heavy, wet snow right now.
Oh, you got to told you so it all over the place.
I was so happy. I was so happy because that was really my gift to myself for the holiday season was to get those trees out of there.
And they did such a fantastic job, and they cleaned up everything too, and that's why they've been in business for over 20 years.
There was one day while Megan and the kids were here that I looked out the bathroom window or the bedroom window upstairs, and I see Megan just wandering around among the tree stumps.
Oh, she was just looking for the coffee pot she threw out.
But she admired the fine work of Steve's tree service because, boy, did they create a whole new area of play for the kids this summer. So that'll be fun. They're 5-star rated on Facebook, Google, and Yelp. You can find them by calling 865-257-6214 or with their snazzy new Facebook cover photo.
Yeah.
That you might want to use that because they cut down this massive dead tree. And they're proud of that.
Really cool.
Yeah, proud of that work. So check out Steve's Tree Service. Tell Renee and Steve that we sent you, and get a good deal.
Get a good deal. It's good. So
Megan threw the coffee out the window by accident.
Yeah, because you've been throwing your coffee grounds in your little garden out there.
Yeah, and when it's nice, I'll walk around and dump the coffee grounds at one of the various fig trees that I'm trying to grow.
I've been putting coffee grounds in my 2 plants that I have in my house.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Tanya said that they work really well,
They
too.
do. They help. And I think that you have to have some worms, though, also, who get hopped up on the caffeine and then really convert it all to good earthy dirt. So, well, you know, there might be some kids still in the house.
Never know.
But Megan it was not ideal weather, so she just did what I do and was going to dump the coffee grounds out the kitchen window to the garden below, but forgot to take off the water filter.
Yeah.
So which I just put a brand new one in because she had come to visit. I will work those well past their use by dates.
Right.
You know, because it's just
as
me.
you should.
And everyone says my coffee tastes like it.
But
but Megan realized the hard way that thing will fly right off when you turn it upside down, and she's wandering around the garden trying to find it.
So anything going on in the world that I don't know about?
Because you're on this social media hiatus.
Yeah, what am I missing?
Well, I mean, I think I'm keeping you up to date.
I think you are.
On all of the things. I can tell you that while Frank Jr. was here, he got us hooked on this new to us British game show called Only Connect.
Okay.
So Jerry's been watching it obsessively. She loves all British things anyway.
Right.
So she had been watching. Pick a British show. Pick one.
I don't know, but you should check out Taskmaster on YouTube.
Was that a British game show?
It's a very British game show, and it's hilarious.
Well, that's what this Only Connect is. There's this woman named Victoria. Oh, I forgot her last name. Coren Mitchell. Victoria Coren Mitchell is her name.
Thank you.
Victoria Coren, and then she married Mitchell.
The voice from the ether.
And you would like her because she obviously has got improv skills.
Oh, cool.
She's obviously got skills because she's able to give these cutting remarks after something that happens spontaneously in the show. And plus, she's obviously got the whole script. She's got the answers. She's got all the information that she needs.
Right.
But she's also got the flexibility to
kind of do her own
to weave
thing.
through it. And the basic gist of the show is they give you 3 or, depending on which section of the show you're on, 4 things, and you have to figure out what they have in common.
Oh, connect.
And sometimes it's really super difficult, especially when it's 4 British words or slang words or last names of famous British celebrities. And, they're all first names are all Paul.
It's like, oh, okay.
Okay. So Hollywood refers to Paul Hollywood. I knew that one.
Right.
I didn't know the other 3 Pauls. But okay, whatever.
I saw somebody the other day that said, how do people in Britain say that they have a bloody nose?
What a bloody nose.
Because they can't say, I've got a bloody nose. It's like, duh.
Your nose is bloody. Bloody good.
Right. How do you say, I've got a bloody nose?
Well, I listened to, I should mention that our friend Bean used us on his podcast.
He did.
From England. He used a sound clip of us doing the When Will Now Be Soon or whatever. When
are we going to start it? Now?
At the beginning of his British, half Los Angeles podcast.
Yeah.
Well, he told a story one time about how the landlord contacted him to tell him they were going to come to his house and replace the kitchen extractor. So he has to write back to them and say, what's
the kitchen extractor? Disposal?
And they write, ha ha ha, hilarious. It's above the hob. So he wrote back, no, I'm not, I'm sorry.
Oh, it's the vent.
Yes, because he didn't know what a kitchen extractor was, nor did he know what a hob was.
Well, I know what the hob is.
See, that's, you're ahead of me then.
Yeah.
I guessed that the kitchen extractor.
The kitchen extractor.
Yes, I guessed it, that it was the exhaust fan, because we used to have one at the house where I was a kid growing up. Mm-hmm. And the hob is the stovetop?
Yeah.
What's that?
I don't know. I just, I know Lawrence.
So you know
he's
a
from
Welsh,
Wales, yeah,
a Welshman.
Yeah, so he has all sorts of things. We got into a crazy yelling match one time in the front of Sweet Fanny Adams because he asked me, "Is there enough room for someone to get by with a pushchair?" And I'm like, "What?" And I was like, holding things up. I'm like, "What are you?" What? And he's like, a pushchair. Can you want a pushchair? I'm like, and this? What are you? What? Huh?
What are you talking about?
And he was asking if there were enough room from where he'd parked something for someone to get by with a stroller.
Oh, not a wheelchair.
A pushchair.
Well, did I ever tell you about Simon Le Bon of Duran Duran? Mm-mm. He was asking me for a loud talker. And because we had a bit where it was, again, going back to Bean, Kevin and Bean, KROQ, Duran Duran had a bit of a comeback album in the 90s.
Right.
And we were doing a live radio broadcast from the House of Blues on Sunset Strip.
Was he asking for headphones?
You would think. I mean, perhaps, but we're going through this whole routine because he doesn't know the American word for loud talker, and I don't know
the British word
for it either. And so we had the interview, and they were going to go perform. They're going to go down on the stage, and we're going to broadcast them performing whatever their latest single was.
Loud talker.
You're right there. You're about to get it. And this is an effect in this song where he wants to make his voice sound distorted.
Oh no! See, I was going to see. It's microphone, right? No?
Actually, it's part microphone. It has a microphone in it.
Oh, a megaphone?
Yeah, bullhorn.
Like a bullhorn.
Yeah.
I was going to think loud talker would be the. My brain won't even think of it right now.
Because I've totally messed up the British words.
I don't know.
So the interview is fine. We're upstairs at the House of Blues, and he does the interview with Kevin and Bean, and now they're commercial break, play some songs, and they're going to come back and perform live. But he's asking me, as the producer of the show, if I have a loud talker.
You have a loud talker.
And thank goodness that we had this guy on the show whose whole shtick was to go around with a bullhorn and repeat whatever Kevin, he'd be on the phone with Kevin and Bean, and they would put him in some place where he shouldn't be in front of someone's house and tell him what to yell.
Right.
Or be on a sidewalk cafe and yell funny things.
Oh, yeah.
It's like an old Letterman bit, but they did it fine. Well, he shows up after having been out to give away prizes, and Simon Le Bon goes, "There you go."
Okay, got it.
I'll take that, please.
Got it.
And we had a loud talker. We didn't even know we had a loud talker. We had a loud talker.
Do you have a loud talker? Yeah, she's right here.
That could be your nickname.
Loud talker?
Yeah.
Oh no, one of the engineers at the radio station used to call me Johnny.
Johnny?
Mm-hmm. Johnny was a schoolboy when he heard his first Beatles song.
I don't get the reference.
Don't you know?
Is this a Billy Joel song that I don't know?
No. It was
Johnny.
Don't you know that you are a superstar?
Oh, so he was telling you that you're a superstar.
By calling me Johnny.
Okay.
And I thought that he was just calling me Johnny because typically females in radio will take on an asexual name. Johnny,
Yeah.
Chris.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That happens a lot.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Huh, well, he was right. I did not know that, and now I actually have found something in common with that guy. I am
You like
gobsmacked.
him.
I am gobsmacked that he and I agree on one thing.
Yay! I'm glad I could bring you together.
Well, I'll never see him again for the rest of my life. I'm fairly confident that
You might run into him at the club.
Yeah. The club.
The club.
The club.
Yeah. Everybody needs toilet paper.
True that.
Yeah.
All right.
True that. All right, let's go play Mario Kart.
Oh, I thought I could. I was so hoping to dodge that. All right. Well, thanks so much for watching on YouTube and subscribing on YouTube and for sharing, because while Krisha is on her social media hiatus,
we need your help.
Your help all the more to drive up our viewership on YouTube and our listenership on all of the podcast apps, including Audible Pod, including Amazon Music, Pandora, Spotify. Most of the ones we get.
Music.
I looked at the most recent statistics, which were Apple Podcasts was by and away number one.
Yeah.
Podbean came in really high, like at
Yeah.
number 2, which is where we host the show. So it could be me that's listening to it, but
Right.
but Podbean came in high, and then iHeartRadio was up there, and then a bunch that I didn't know, which are like smaller podcasting apps
Like
that I
Lisbon and all that. Yeah, who knows?
maybe.
I don't know.
Anyway, so whatever one you want, we're there. And if we're missing one, contact me at Krisha and Frank at gmail.com.
Yeah.
And I'll get us on there. And thanks a lot.
And thanks to Aaron Cody Campbell. He's back listening to a lot of episodes, and
Yes.
he's been jumping in, and I just got to thank him.
And he put something in our virtual tip jar.
Exactly.
By PayPaling us at KrishaandFrank at gmail.com.
Yeah,
So
so thanks for that.
We appreciate you.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Happy New Year still.
Happy New Year. See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. Oh, yeah. Bye.
I think this is the only time it's been quiet this whole episode.
That's funny.
Yeah.
So today's Three Kings Day. I didn't even mention it.
Oh, well, now you did. It's the Epiphany.
Yeah. I just had an epiphany about the
About the Epiphany. Okay, bye.